Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of The Bald Brad Show, where we cover all the breaking news headlines that you need to know about heading into your work week, your work day, your sleep, your wake up, wherever anything happens that you hear The Bald Brad Show, you're going to be prepared for it, folks. I hope you had a lovely weekend. A lot of things happened, which means we have a lot of news to cover, and we'll be covering the big news of the day. And one I think needs to happen because it's only going to make the economy stronger, whether we like it or not. And that is dealing with China, which I always find fascinating that after what China did by unleashing a virus upon the earth and deleting millions of people, nothing happened to them. They actually got away with massive schmurder of a bunch of people, basically. Astonishing. Not a fine. Didn't have to fund the United Nations for the next, 100 years or anything. Nope, everyone just looked the other way. One of the wildest things I think in human history, by the way. It's so weird to me that nothing happened to them. They're just like, it's cool, man. Don't worry about it. We'll get them next time. Well, U.S. and China came together on Sunday and hashed out the framework of a trade deal for the U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping to decide on later this week that would pause steeper American tariffs and Chinese rare earth export controls. U.S. Secretary Scott Bessent said talks on the sidelines of this summit had eliminated the threat of Trump's 100% tariffs on Chinese imports starting November 1st. Bessent said he expects China to delay the implementation of its rare earth minerals and magnets licensing regime by a year while the policy is reconsidered. So we got a few clips of that for you right here. By the way, if you could help us by hitting that like and subscribe button, we'd greatly appreciate all the help and support you can get. So let's see if we can get that video up and running for you. Sorry, folks, we got the spinning wheel of Reth, which means death. Here we go.
Meeting that I've had with my Chinese counterpart, the Vice Premier, Hu Lifeng, and we covered a wide range of issues, and I think we've reached a substantial framework for the two leaders who will meet in Korea next Thursday. So, on the table, the president had given me maximum leverage when he threatened 100% tariffs if the Chinese imposed their rare earth global export controls. So I think we have averted that so that the tariffs will be averted. And we have a regular quarterly meeting with the Chinese. It was scheduled for November 10th. Or before November 10th. I don't think we will have to have that. So we have been rolling the tariffs quarterly. So we agreed on that. We also agreed on substantial agriculture purchases for U.S. farmers. We agreed that the Chinese would begin to help us with the precursor chemicals for this terrible fentanyl epidemic that's ravaging our country. So I would say that it was a very good meeting overall.
I'll tell you what, Scott, you make me want to fall asleep, brother. You got to do something. Give us a little bit more of a entertainment value because woof. Wow. Well, Chinese officials were more circumspect about the talks and offered no details about the outcomes of the meeting. Trump and Xi are due to meet on Thursday of this week on the sidelines of the Asia-Pacific Economic Corporation. While the White House has officially announced the highly anticipated Trump-Xi talks, China has yet to confirm that the two leaders will meet. So we'll keep you up to date on that. That will happen this week. It'd be nice to get a deal going because what you're going to see is a reactionary effect with the economy. And by the economy, I mean mostly the stock market. I understand that's not a good indicator of the economy, but any bump or kind of increase like that is always helpful in just our argument of how great Donald Trump is in making America great again. The stock market broke a record, I think it was last week, of hitting 7,000. But, everybody wants to talk about how racist he is and how terrible everything is, blah, 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 all this stuff. Well, speaking of saying how terrible and weird and odd and not making sense and everyone's trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about, well, that's Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. This guy's back, and this one's weird. I'll tell you, this one caught me a little off guard here. Well, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson unloaded on a reporter asking about illegal aliens, and which is a legal term for a person who is illegally in America. Well, this is what he said, and it's the oddest thing. And of course, I'm going to have to pull up a different clip because this darn thing doesn't want to work. But watching it, everybody was kind of baffled over it. Like, what are you talking about? So he goes from talking about illegal alien to like racism and all this stuff.
I talk to, that I communicate with, mostly black and brown, actually, tell me that you don't seem to know the difference between illegal aliens and real Chicago citizens. They feel that you are siding with the illegal aliens over them in their communities. And okay. Sadly,
William, let's get to the question.
Let's get to the question. The real question is simply this. I don't know how to make it any more direct. An illegal alien from Nicaragua grabbed a woman on the north side last week, bashed her head into the sidewalk, knocked her unconscious, and raped her. If that had been your wife, Stacey.
Okay, all right, we're not going to answer it. Thank you. Thanks, William.
All right.
Would you want ICE to deport her?
All right.
To
Let's move on.
Yes or no?
Let's move on.
Answer the question as a man, not as mayor, but as a man. Would you want?
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Now, that wasn't the clip I wanted to show you, but I wanted you to see that he's been confronted multiple times about this illegal alien term, if that's what you want to call it. And I believe this is the one that took place over the weekend.
We don't have illegal aliens.
It's as loud as it goes, folks. You have to turn it up.
I don't know if that's from some sort of sci-fi message that you wish you've had. Well, listen, the legal term for my people were slaves. You want me to use that term too? So look, let's just get the language right. We're talking about undocumented individuals that are human beings. The last thing that I'm going to do is accept the type of racist, nasty language to describe human beings.
What? What? The hell's this guy talking about? Do you want me to use slaves? Yeah, we actually use that. It's so common to use it, and it's so not racist that we actually use it in the education system. What? So you missed that because it was really quiet. I have the transcript here for you. So Johnson called the term racist and sarcastically suggested that he should also call black people slaves, which is a little odd to me. I mean, there was white slaves. By the way, there was a lot of people across the whole planet that were enslaved over history. We can't talk about that because you're a white person, and a white person has power, and a white person that has power is the only thing that can be racist and oppressive. All right, Jesus. The reporter asked Johnson about his apparent refusal to file a report to the White House detailing his city's spending on illegal aliens, which a lot of people noticed. If you looked at the clip, he kind of had like a shocked look on his face, like his eyes got big, like, what paperwork are you talking about? What has happened with that? We don't have illegal aliens, Johnson told the reporter. I don't know if that's some sort of sci-fi message for which you've had. This is what I've talked about for years, and all of you see it as well. They don't deal in reality. And so that's why they're going like, oh, is that some sci-fi term that we should be knowing about? I understand he's being cutesy here. But the weird part is, listen, the legal term for my people were slaves. You want me to use that term too? Well, if we're talking about slaves, then sure. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a slave in America right now, but I'll tell you what, you could find about, a couple million of them over the Middle East. That's right now. There's more slaves now than the height of slavery. Right now. It's the craziest thing, but don't worry. They'll make sure that they protest and everybody wants to be out here acting all crazy and weird, blah, 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 this and that. It's just nuts, man. It really, really is nuts. Well, we have Trump moving against drug trade in South America. This one was big over the weekend. Trump is moving some big dogs down there. And by big, I mean the biggest strike carrier group that we have. So Trump is flopping his pee-pee on the ground. President Donald Trump ordered the most advanced U.S. aircraft carrier group to the Caribbean last week as he floated the possibility of strikes against drug cartels on land. And the Trump administration placed sanctions on the president of Colombia as tensions continue to rise with the erstwhile U.S. ally. Venezuela, Trump moved the USS Gerald Ford Carrier Group to join forces already stationed in the Caribbean. The Ford Carrier Group is the largest in the United States military. I'll tell you what, if you're over there, you got to be puckering up, man. That is some mighty force, dude. Not what you want to see. That will wipe them out. I'm not saying he's going to do this, okay? And I don't think anybody's asking to go to war with Colombia or Venezuela or whoever. It doesn't matter. But what I will say is, just gonna point this out. In 1991, that's a long time ago. Brad was barely born. I was 2 years old. In 1991, we wiped out the world's fourth largest military in like 72 hours. Now, I'm exaggerating slightly. It was 4 days, but it was under a week. You're like, oh, well, we were there for like months. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you're going to bring that kind of firepower over there, you might as well stay for a bit. Shit. You know, you flew all the way over there. You might as well enjoy the sun. You know, it's a little stinky, but South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham appeared on CBS Face the Nation on Sunday and said that he had spoken to Trump about the potential land strikes in South America. Well, let's see what old Lindsey has to say here. Let's get that going. Enough of me talking. Let's see what Lindsey has to say on Face the Nation. Mr. Graham.
Because you are.
Of course. I don't know what is going on with anybody. Let me know if you guys are having issues with X. I have a lot of issues with X today. I think that's a real possibility, said Graham. I think President Trump has made a decision that Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, is an indicated drug trafficker, that it's time for him to go, that Venezuela and Colombia have been safe havens for narco-terrorists for too long. Now, I saw a video of Maduro come out over the weekend where he is speaking English, and I could tell he's trying his best, but he had his phone out. He goes, no crazy, no want war or something like that. I mean, I'll tell you what. When you see the USS Gerald Ford rolling in, folks, and trying to parallel park, yeah, buddy. Yeah. You're going to look at life a little bit differently. You're going to start thinking, oh, it's kind of like these Antifa guys that will talk shit to all these cops. And then when the cops get out of the car, all of a sudden it gets really quiet. That actually happened over the weekend, by the way. I thought I posted a clip about it. There's these Antifa guys that are yelling at all these cops. They're sitting in their car. There's like 4 cops in the car. And the cops just had their windows down, just listening to it. And, oh, you bitch, you racist, you pig, blah, blah, blah. You're yelling at them. And the cops all step out of the car and crickets, dude. You don't hear anything. It's hilarious. It's the same thing here, right? All this stuff. Oh, we need them gone. Get rid of them, blah, blah, blah. Then Trump pulls up in the Gerald Ford. You know what I mean? What's up? Did you fucking say something, Maduro? No. I swear you said something, you son of a bitch. What'd you say again? No, tell everybody. As Trump's sipping on his Diet Coke. Just kind of finishing the last few French fries he has in the bag. I love it. Well, it's not just Venezuela. You got Colombia here. And Colombia said they should get rid of him. That's what he did, right? You remember him snapping last week? He goes, yeah, get rid of him. Somebody got to get rid of him. Well, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced sanctions on Colombian President Gustavo Petro and his family on Friday. He said in a statement that Petro has allowed drug cartels to flourish and refused to stop this activity. Absolutely. I bet, I'll tell you what, I think Maduro and Petro over here, Pedro, really loved Joe Biden because, man, they've never made more money than ever. Joe Biden, I've always said this, is the greatest businessman I've ever seen. I know we think Elon's great. Trump is amazing. Like, I get it. No, they're good. Oh, folks, though, they're good. Trump and Elon are good. But you want to know who's the best? Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a remarkable businessman. It makes sense now why they put Hunter Biden on the board of Burisma Holdings, even though he didn't know jack anything about natural gas. It's because Dad's that good. Yeah, you don't see Don Jr. up there, do you? You don't see him on the board of a natural gas company. You don't see Eric Trump, Ivanka. Because Joey's the best. Joey created a multi-billion-dollar sex trafficking of minors industry. Joe Biden single-handedly rebuilt the drug trafficking industry. And we're talking global, baby. We ain't talking just domestic. We're talking global. I mean, he was reaching down with his gross ass fingers down in South America. And that's just 2 industries he created. The guy's remarkable. I'll tell you what, the guy was remarkable. Colombian officials have pushed back, pointing to continued interdiction of cocaine. But the country's coca fields have grown continuously since Petro took power in 2022. Who's president in 2022? That's right, it was Joe Biden. Trump moves against Colombia have received support from Republicans representing sizable communities of Colombian Americans. Colombia is once again the #1 producer of coke in the world. Colombians don't deserve that. President Trump has a responsibility to stop drugs from coming in the country. Yes. I mean, literally, that is his job. And it's kind of almost hard to grasp. And I think this has to do with a lack of physics being taught. I don't think they've taught physics in the education system for, I want to, at least 15 years. It's been at least 15 years they've stopped teaching physics. And that would give you the reason as to why a lot of Americans don't know how the government works. And if you do take a government class, it's only like a semester course. It's basically an elective. Like, oh, yeah, you know, there's 100 senators. There's like 435 House of Representatives. You know, there's 3 branches of government. This is how they function. This is what they do. But then you forget it because you don't need to know it and like ever. So that's why you have a bunch of people running around like with chicken with their head cut off, don't know how the executive branch works, which is why they're always shocked that Donald Trump is executing the laws on the books. Like they're blown away, folks, that ICE is like deporting people. How could they? Those are people. It's like, yeah, they're people that broke the law. In the same way, if a guy ran over your kid, you'd be like, hey, I think this guy should be arrested and we can take care of this. And when the police don't do it, then you get mad. But when you do it, then you get mad because they're executing. It's weird. It's weird. It really, really is. Well, things are about to kind of go crazy here, folks. The SNAP benefits are disappearing. And that is happening really quickly. And the reason why I want to bring awareness to this, and let's see if X actually works right now, is because you all need to go grocery shopping, right? Well, now what they're doing is they're going online saying that they're just going to start stealing the stuff. It's crazy. So let me see if I can get a couple of those clips going here.
We are getting EBT. We are getting EBT. We are having a good Thanksgiving. We are having a good Thanksgiving. What to say, y'all? Next deposit 15 days. What's 15 days from now? The 9th. When do I get my food stamps? On the 9th. I'm not paying attention to this. Well, I am, in fact, because it says benefits are likely. I have not
likely, though.
seen any update.
Now, what they're saying is that they are just going to go steal people's groceries. Thank you so much for the $2 over there, Johnny Mullins. Appreciate that. Always helpful to get a donation from the crowd. The Patriots, the Bald Brad Army, the Bald Brad Brigade. We got a few names that we go by here. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. God bless you. I've always said, if it's $1, $2, $100, it doesn't matter. That's your hard-earned money that you worked for, that you feel you could put back into the show. So thank you. God bless you. Appreciate that. It's always nice to see. Thank you, guys. And so they're just going to beat the crap out of you and take your stuff. Check this out.
All right, y'all keep acting a fool and saying what y'all gonna do when y'all don't get y'all SNAP benefits. Well, Walmart has just released what they're going to do. Walmart said the doors will be locked. Ain't nobody coming in the store but the employees. Place your order online. Do your shopping before November 1st, because you won't be coming up in here with that mess. Walmart say they don't have time for that. Thank y'all for letting us know. Doors will be locked. Place your order online.
Wow.
Pull
I don't know
up.
if that's true.
It might be a little wait, but you're not coming in here with that. You're not coming in here with that foolery. We're not about to take a L, okay? Yeah. Walmart said not today, not tomorrow. We'll reopen back in January. That part. Because y'all don't know how to act. Y'all do not know how to act. and then y'all tell them what y'all gonna do before it hit. Let it be a surprise. Keep something a secret. Didn't your mama teach you how to keep your mouth shut? Anyways,
It's not just that. We got a few things here. Here's another one.
No SNAP November. We've all seen the videos of people on here saying if their food stamp money don't come on November 1st, they're just going to go steal it. And they're like, get out of my way. And now you're seeing the influencer paid social media campaign, in my opinion. The hashtag is No SNAP November, where they're telling the public, go steal it. And then they're telling the public, look the other way.
Well, the problem is they're not just going to go steal it. They're going to steal it from you as well. There's conversations happening that it's going to happen in the parking lot, folks. You got to be aware of this, man.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but ain't stealing food stamps a government crime?
I want to see if I could find one. I can't believe none of them are popping up right now. I watch so many people saying they're gonna steal or they're going to rob people. I want to see if I can just find one or two for you, but it's nuts, man.
They are making me so nervous with this EBT thing. Talking about going to stores, robbing, stealing. Now, have you heard that they have a plan to go into Walmarts at a certain time and steal at the same time, fill up all their carts and run out the store? I'm saying, have we not been noticing what's been going on in the country? Not just with ICE, but also with the stuff going on with in the country. Have we not been noticing?
What?
I mean, really, what?
Think
about something that has been going on in the country.
You know, so nobody's ever specific. You just know what's going on in the country. Like, no, stock market's through the roof. Like, gas prices are down since 2020. Gas prices are the lowest since they've been in 2021. I was told gas prices go through the roof. Grocery prices are actually down, depending on what you want to look at. Inflation is lower than expected. Hand to God, I am confused here. This is what they do. Well, you know, if you look around in the country, you're going to see something. It's like, yeah, okay. All right. So that's something you want to be aware of. So what they're saying is, I wish I could find better clips for all of you. I apologize. So what they're saying is that you will bring your groceries out to your car and they're going to mug you. Just a heads up. And it wasn't, please understand, this wasn't just one or two. That's why I'm like, it's laughable that I can't actually find a clip right now that's saying that, because it was endless. You know, when you start watching one video on TikTok and then you scroll up and it's like the same video and you watch that whole thing. And then basically the next like 50 videos are just them talking about how they want to go out and steal your stuff. So they're going to beat the crap out of you. And that's what they're going to do. So I would say if you have a wife, that she should not go grocery shopping with you for a while. And by the way, I'm serious. And I think Mizzy has it right. Some of y'all need to start conceal and carry and go to the grocery store. And I don't like saying to break the law, but all I'm saying is not a bad idea to bring something with you, even if you don't have a concealed carry license, just to be safe. Just to be safe. And look, and by the way, if you do get robbed, I would say just let it happen. And I know that's gonna go against some of the grain for some of you, but your life is worth a lot more than a bag of Doritos and some bread and milk. It's worth more than the $100 or $200 that's in that grocery cart, folks. You just say, take it. Hey, back away. And you go on your way. Your life is worth more than that. Sure. Do you want to maybe pull out your piece and say, yo, you want some of this, son? Maybe you want to do that. I wouldn't. Take it. I'll go work a few extra hours at work. Ain't no big deal. Ain't no big thing. Tell you what, I ain't going to Walmart. The places you want to go, it's going to sound really bad. You want to go to the bougie areas, actually, maybe for the next month or so. It's going to cost you a little bit more, but you got the security of it. Here's the messed up thing. And I'm hesitant to say it. Every video was a black person. Literally every video. There wasn't a single Hispanic, there wasn't a single Asian, and there wasn't a single white person. Crazy. Well, let's get into like a little bit of a good mood here. Javier Milei? Now, granted, he's asking for a bailout right now, which I'm not too stoked on, and Trump might give it to him, which I don't like, and I'm going to say Trump shouldn't. The media is saying that Argentina hates him, that he's terrible. Well, this says something otherwise. They love him. The energy this guy has, dude, is like that's what you want. You always need one person like this around you. And so it says he storms to victory in Argentina. The polls were lying, the media were lying. They said he would lose, they said he would struggle. He's not, man. It's just so funny to me that they always continue to lie to us, but he's just going. I want Trump to do that. You know what I mean? I just want him to go down the line. Yeah, I love you guys. Start tossing out freaking French fries to everybody and just cheeseburgers. Woo! Having a party with it. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. I love Trump. Like I said, we had to soak this in, folks. It's already October. The next thing you know, in 3 months, it's going to have already been a year since Donald Trump has been in office. And, you know, it means we only get 3 more years of this greatness. And we'll never see this again in our lifetimes. That's the bummer. And I was thinking about this the other day because we've been through so many Trump rallies. We just been through a lot here on the show together doing our lives. And I'm just going to miss the rallies, I think, more than anything. I mean, if you think about just the campaign alone, we'll never see anything like it. Remember when he worked at McDonald's? because Kamala Harris said she worked at McDonald's and then she photoshopped a photo of her face on somebody else's poor girl's face. So homie goes and works at McDonald's. Y'all remember that one? It's just incredible. It's incredible. And then you guys remember, this is the best one. When they called Republicans garbage, called them trash. So bro pulls up in a garbage truck. Hey, check out my garbage truck. It's unbelievable. And then he trolls Hillary Clinton this last week. And Hillary Clinton was talking about the ballroom. And Donald Trump wrote back, well, I'm thinking about calling it the Monica Lewinsky ballroom. It's just too good. It really, really is too good. Well, speaking of that, Trump praises Elon Musk's capabilities after feud reconciliation. President Donald Trump expressed ongoing affection for Tesla CEO Elon Musk aboard Air Force One on Monday, describing the relationship as good following a summer feud over a spending bill that led to a personal attack and threats to subsidies. I would like to point out, I'm going to go to Eric Doherty. I really enjoy his clips. By the way, if you're not following Eric Doherty on X, he's a really good source to have. Just going to say. Donald Trump, I mean, this guy, if you ever backstab him, will destroy your life through the media. And I will say, his relationship, he must really, really like Elon Musk. Because he has not really trashed him. He's like, oh, the guy had a tough time. That was it. I mean, who do you know he's willing to say things like that about that? Like, come out. I mean, dude, Elon called him a pedo, bro. That's crossing the line. You know what I mean? That's crossing the line. Trump's like, hey, you guy just had some tough time. Couldn't handle it.
How is your relationship with Elon these days? And is there
I think it's good. I mean, you saw that during Charlie's beautiful tribute.
Look, C-SPAN, if you're going to post a video, at least get your freaking microphone darting towards the president's mouth so we can hear him. That ain't me, folks. My audio, I even have gain turned all the way up. It's not good. I still can't hear him. That ain't me.
Elon came up. It's good with Elon. I like Elon. I've always liked Elon. Elon's good.
Have you talked to him since the memorial?
on and off a little bit. Yeah, very little. Nothing much. Look, he's a nice guy, and he's a very capable guy. I've always liked him. He had a bad spell. He had a bad period. He had a bad moment. It was a stupid moment in his life. Very stupid. I'm sure he'd tell you that. But I like Elon, and I suspect I'll always like him.
My question is, how's Marco Rubio, like, how's he doing? Because that guy's working as you know what off, man. Interesting enough, there was a poll that was sent out over the weekend. It was one of those X polls, nothing to really, those are always biased, so don't use those for anything. But I just thought it was interesting that there was a question that was asked, and I forgot who asked it. And it was basically like, if you were, you know who it was? It was, I think it was not Brandon Johnson. Oh, goodness gracious. Brandon Tatum. Let me see if I could find it for you. Posted a X poll, and it was kind of surprising what people are voting for. I kind of just shook my head with it. Let me see if I could find it. If not, I'll just relay what the result was when I clicked on it. Yeah, I can't find it anymore. There was a poll that basically asked, as of right now, would you vote for Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, maybe Ted Cruz was in there, I can't remember. And I mean, it was in the high 80s for JD Vance. And then I think Marco Rubio only had 8%. By the way, I clicked on Marco Rubio. I'm always open about that. It's just, look, I love JD. He's great. I just, the amount of work that Marco has put in of traveling different countries. I mean, folks, yeah, Donald Trump helped solve all those wars, but you want to also really, really did more than JD? JD was a part of some of them. Marco Rubio is a part of every single one of them. Everything you are seeing that has to do with foreign affairs is through Marco Rubio. Whether Donald Trump wants to say his name or not, everything that has to do with foreign affairs is going through Marco Rubio and his team. So, yeah, you hear Scott Bassett talking about China. I hate to say it. It's Marco Rubio. All these wars, Marco Rubio. Everything. I love JD. I have nothing bad to say. But my question would be is, what has JD Vance done that's comparable to Marco Rubio? And by the way, it's not even his fault. It's just not his fault. JD just doesn't have the I don't want to say the power. His job is limited. He's the vice president. There's not much there. And that is why early on in history, in our country's history, the Secretary of State was the one that kind of was the lineup for the presidency. It wasn't the vice president. That's why the Secretary of State was the kind of the next guy to go to be the president of the United States. And for some reason, we changed it. Well, don't worry. Those they're just going to blame racism when there are no stores willing to open in the area. So this is a clip that just kind of came in front of me. They're just stealing stuff now.
Why not, boys? Y'all ain't gonna leave out with it.
Now, some days you never know this is a trick or not. For all I know, this could be Sora or AI. The point I want to make is the only way you're going to stop this, because you can't police this anymore. We've created a culture in this country you can't police. What I'm going to say is you need to start allowing old school law and order. That old school law and order is before you ever step into that store and you think it's a good idea to steal something, you should be asking yourself, is it worth my life? I'm serious, by the way. That is somebody's property before you buy it. And you have every right to protect your property. That's that store owner's property. It's different if you're an employee. But you should be asking that question, is it worth my life? And if you're going to steal something, that person that owns that store has every right to protect themselves and their property. And by the way, do you want to know where they get that from? Because most people don't know. Most people don't really understand the Second Amendment and its purpose and where it comes from, because it's a right. It's a God-given right. The reason why is because you can look back at natural order and the way that God created things, natural order, and see that animals themselves will protect themselves, their loved ones, meaning their cubs or whatever you want to look at, their children, and they will protect their property. What is theirs? Tell you what, you want to go, you're so hungry and you want to go in and steal a bag of chips. Ask yourself, is it worth your life? And I think we should give owners the right to protect their property with lethal force. And that's going to not side with a lot of people. Be like, well, it's just a bag of chips, blah, blah, they got to eat. Yeah, there's a lot of things that people got to do. But you know what? It's a little bit too rampant. So now we got to go extreme. Y'all remember the LA riots? There's a reason why hashtag rooftop Asians or rooftop Koreans, I think it was trending for a while. I mean, this was before there was really the internet and stuff. But there was a trend for a little while of rooftop Koreans or rooftop Asians, is because they started protecting their property by going on the rooftops with their firearms. The Koreans were, and they were shooting people left and right out here in LA when you had the LA riots going on. And they were just people trying to steal stuff. And it's nice when you actually police, things happen that are positive. For example, the police came in and took down Antifa's stuff. So you remember that video we showed where it was being looked at with all that medical equipment they had, Antifa in Portland, and they had like thousands of dollars of it. They had like the air blow gun thing, and they had medical and all that stuff. Well, that got taken down.
Antifa in Portland has lost their battle. You have absolutely nobody outside the ICE building right now. Their encampment has been completely shut down. You do not see a single member of Antifa, as the police actually came in today and said they cannot no longer be here. It looks like a hoarder's house here, but you have quite literally everything from buckets full of medicine, toothpaste, floss. You have food right here.
They just
you
left
have
it out there.
all sorts of medical gear as well. They had boxes full of masks, and they had a load supply of water. They had all of their supplies and party supplies in here, and they even had
crazy
things such as fridges, and they even had a barbecue here as well. So this
Isn't it crazy that they can raise all this money for their protests, but they can't raise any money for the illegal immigrants that they're allegedly protesting for to try to get them back into this country legally?
Is the end of Antifa for right now. It's been completely dismantled. Here is the barbecue they had right here. Absolutely is gone. Antifa no longer here on the streets of Portland. It's like the Patriots, the pro-Trump people came in here and outnumbered them for the first time in a long time. And this
Well, the pro-Trump people, I'll tell you what, if they got out there and actually did a protest against them, I got a feeling the Trump people are going to win. But it is a remarkable thing when you see these protesters out there spending their time, where it's like, if you really believed in making a change, is you would be maybe working a second job to try to start up maybe a nonprofit on your, by yourself, and work with and track illegal immigrants that are deported, so that if they're actually that great of a citizen, or should I say a person that wants to be a citizen, then you could help them come here legally from which country they got deported to. So you track them and you see them over there and say, hey, we'd love to get your paperwork started. I know that you don't have maybe the money to come over here, so we would love to donate this money to you and your family so that you can come here legally. We want to at least get that process started for you. It might be a little bit slow, but we'll take care of it from your end. And then also, here's a little bit of extra cash to keep you afloat. Find a job in your country that you were deported to, and bada bing, bada boom. But no, they would rather spend their money on barbecues and freaking party toys and all this stuff and go out and protest and not actually make a change in people's life. And where do I get that from too? Do y'all remember the Israel Hamas, the protest against Israel on the University of Columbia? And the lady there was on the microphone saying that they were going to die basically of starvation and famine and thirst. Do you guys remember that? And I commented saying, you're on a college campus. You walk in almost any direction on a college campus, and within 15 minutes, you're finding like a Taco Bell, Panda Express, like a fast food chain. You could probably, in less than 15 minutes, find a drinking fountain. But this is how crazy these people are, is that they're going to request, remember, they were requesting food from the government, the locality, the police department, and whatever law enforcement was there, requesting food and water because they were in a famine. Here on Columbia University. And I commented saying, isn't it crazy that they're requesting food and water, all the while the people in Palestine, of which they're allegedly protesting on behalf, are dying because of a lack of food and water? This is a point that's been made, is that there's some sort of, I don't know if it's a barrier in the brain or a chemical imbalance. I don't know what it is, but the lack of pattern recognition and irony is truly astonishing. And by the way, I've made similar statements here in the show where I've contradicted myself. I'm aware of it. Sometimes I've actually called it out live on the show. It's not that I'm not aware of it. The show got to keep going, is all I'm saying. Show got to keep rolling. So there's that for you. These people, I don't really, if you guys have an answer to that, let me know. But it's the oddest thing, dude. Like some sort of like, I don't know if it's the Trump. It can't be Trump derangement syndrome, because some point it's not even about Trump. It's just like, I don't know. I've tried to figure it out. Well, speaking of people that can't figure it out, you got people still pushing for gerrymandering, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, who used to be my governor, believe it or not, came out and was talking about gerrymandering. And he said this during a CNN interview, and he's not wrong here.
As you acknowledged, this all started because of redistricting in Texas, and this was Trump pushing Republican-controlled states to throw out their current congressional maps so as to cook the books, so that it is less likely for Democrats to retake control of the House during the next year midterms. I mean, is it fair to argue that do you believe that the Republican Party is starting this?
No, Jake. There has been gerrymandering going on for 200 years. There is such extreme gerrymandering going on that in a state like Massachusetts, it has like 40% of the people voting for Trump. They have 0 representatives. The Republican Party has 0 representatives sent to the House. Think about that. In New Mexico, 45% of the people voted for Trump and voted Republican, and 0 is sent to the House. 0 representative from the Republican Party. So there's gerrymandering, crazy gerrymandering going on all over the country. And we wanted to try to stop it in California. And we did stop it in California. And we went around the country. So I think this whole thing about finger pointing and saying they did it, so therefore we should doing it, that's not really the way to go. The one party should outperform the other party. It should be performance. And when it comes to midterm elections, as you know, always the party that is not in the White House usually wins by 20, 25, 30 seats. So what does 5 seats matter in the first place in Texas? It is crazy. We should outperform them. That is where the action is.
One thing I gotta say, this is what the epitome of a legal immigrant that wants to assimilate into this country looks like. Just want to say that. I mean, the guy lived the American dream. How many lifetimes would you have to live to do what this gentleman did right here, meaning Arnold Schwarzenegger? If you ever have an opportunity to listen to what he says about this country and how thankful he is, that says everything you need to know right there. Right there. Well, AOC thinks that she's not the crazy one. And the reason why I want to show you this clip is because how many times on the show do we talk about that there's like that crazy uncle at Thanksgiving that doesn't think they're the crazy one, but everybody at the table knows that they are the crazy one? Like they are a psychopath? Listen to this from AOC.
But we must remember, in a time such as this, we are not the crazy ones, New York City. We are not the outlandish ones, New York City. They want us to think we are crazy. We are sane.
Bro, you're voting for a socialist. But this person behind me that you can't see, I don't want to move my thing, says fast free buses. That's going to cost them upwards of probably $1 billion. Fast and free. Sure it is. Zoran. That's my sign, by the way. Zoran. Was it Zoran for you guys like that? I don't know if it's backwards or not. I can't tell. Zoran. Remember that movie, Dude, Where's My Car? Where they said like Zoltan. Zoran. Unbelievable. Now we have the thing that's really, really unbelievable. And I got to get the clip for all of you. There's this Democrat that has an actual Nazi tattoo. And he's getting the full backing of the Democrat Party. But if you recall, Democrats called Elon and Trump and Republicans Nazis. So here's Scott Jennings. It's a long clip, but we all love Scott. Well, kind of pointing out the obvious here.
If he moves forward, Democrats aren't winning the seat.
I hate to break the news to you, but he's winning the primary by 30 points.
Well, I think that's why he needs to get out.
Getting a Nazi tattoo made him more popular.
I don't think it made him more popular
among Democrats. You've got a guy running for attorney general in Virginia who wants to murder Republicans, and he raised $500,000 off of it. You got Nazi tattoo guy in Maine. I sat out here for a year, 2 years, listening to every Democrat at this table say, Donald Trump's a Nazi, Elon's a Nazi, and your party is now in love with a guy with a Nazi tattoo who trained a left-wing paramilitary group and called himself an Antifa super soldier on the internet, and he's going up every day. Good luck getting him out. I am but a humble political analyst, and I will just tell you that when you're winning a race by 30 points, if a pundit on television tells you, well, you need to think about dropping out, you laugh in their face.
I don't know. This is a year out.
I feel like Democrats, the race. I want Democrats to be who they are. This is who they are.
This is not who they are.
They are.
No, it is
not.
Hold on, you're saying that Democrats are Nazis? Is
I'm
that
saying
what
it's very on brand right now.
Yes.
Very on.
Oh yeah. You look at them all losing their minds right now. And this is where I'm saying, you guys, I'm sorry, but it blows my mind that Scott could say something that's historically obvious. And for some reason, it's blowing all their minds. And I always correlate this back to the education system. This is because the teachers in the education system that are Democrats, they obfuscate it. They don't talk about it's the Democrat Party. It's the base of what actually made their party. And I'll even go as far. There's a transcript from World War II. And it was talking Hitler with his generals and the people around him. And they were kind of looking at the Jews on who would they classify as being a Jew. And what they brought up was what the Democrat Party did in America through American history and said, well, America has that one drop rule, that one drop law, meaning that if you had one drop of African-American blood or any sort of black descent, you were going to be a black person. Even Hitler himself, the head of the Third Reich was like, and the guy that deleted millions of Jews goes, whoa, that is way too far. We ain't going to do that one. They do that over there. That is crazy. I'm not kidding you, by the way. I'm as serious as a heart attack. Now, I might have put it, paraphrased it, but that's what happened. There's a transcript out there of it. You can see that in Dinesh D'Souza's book, and I think I might talk about it in my book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. Get yourself a copy today. But yeah, that happened. Even Hitler himself looked at the Democrat Party and was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Okay,
hold on 1 second. Hold on, Scott.
Very on brand.
Really, are you suggesting that, a person who wears a Nazi tattoo because he was in the military or whatever is representative of the entire Democratic Party? Is that the...
I'm only reading the polling, Abby. When all this story broke and he started talking about it, he literally got more popular. He's beating the incumbent governor of Maine by 30 points.
You realize that he's running in one state.
Yeah. Look at her tone, how the table is talking about a guy with a Nazi tattoo. Elon Musk takes his heart out to the people and throws it to the crowd. Nazi salute, the guys. We all remember that. We all remember that because Elon Musk got a lot of heat for it. They call all of us Nazis and all this. The dude, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. And this is why I think this is why I think there's evil. Not that this is the example, but I mean, you can look at the scriptures, but you know what I mean? Like, I really do think that we are seeing evil at this moment. That doesn't mean you get to hurt these people or anything like that. What I mean is either they sold their soul or there's some sort of greater evil power that is telling this woman what to do and say. Not literally like, oh, you need to say verbatim. There's no way, man. I firmly believe this now. I think there is some sort of higher evil entity running some of these media outlets. And I'm talking full on Satanist shit. There's no way, dude. There's no way that every single person that comes up here is that stupid and they're that hypocritical. I've seen them in real life, but not to this level. There has to be something going on that's just that I don't know. And me, I don't have a name, so I'm acting like a leftist right now. I don't have a name for it. It's just me throwing something out there, throwing some breadcrumbs, and I want to see what lands with the audience. But
Maine, and you're also saying that because of that, he's representative of the Democratic Party. You said this is who they are. Who is they?
Look at the polling. Look at the energy.
This is
Look,
not about the polling. This is not about the polling.
This is who they want. Bernie Sanders wants him. The beating heart of the Democratic Party, where their energy is, wants the Nazi tattoo guy. That's what they want.
95% of.
I think if this country is about anything, it's about understanding that every person, me, you, everybody else has gone dark moments in our history, and we go on.
So you're
wow. Oh, wow.
standing by your endorsement.
Absolutely.
Hold on, Bernie Sanders isn't the head of the Democratic Party. I think
he's not.
Absolutely not. Don't even.
Where's the energy? Where's the energy of the party?
Here is what I will tell you.
Schumer
Scott.
wants Mills.
Scott,
Sanders wants this guy, and he's winning by 30.
Let me tell you, this when polling happens,
he is totally
the
unknown.
entire party.
Listen, I understand you don't want to have this guy, and I wouldn't either. He is a totally unknown guy, comes out of nowhere. He's got the full support of the left-wing, progressive Sanders wing of the Democratic Party. And
like everybody
is
who supports Bernie Sanders?
Yes. Look at the polling. And here's the most important thing. He's beating.
They were all wanting Bernie when he was running. What is this lady?
The incumbent governor of the state by 30 points. This isn't happening in a vacuum. People are comparing an establishment figure like Mills and this insurgent left-wing radical like Plattner, and they're like, you know what? We'll take the Nazi tattoos. It's fine. And I think look, it may be early, but people are following this race, and the polling is pretty clear. It's not that close. Look, he doesn't.
What I have encountered, and we've all faced this before, where we don't understand something. It's a little complicated, whether you're getting into like string theory, for example, could be quite difficult. I don't think string theory is real anymore, but I had to teach myself string theory by reading a lot of Dr. Green's books. When you're trying to teach somebody statistics and they're not able to comprehend the gap within points, I don't think these people comprehend statistics and how big of a swing 30 points is, and Scott's trying to get them to see something that they're not able to see. And by the way, it might not even be their fault. I'm not calling them stupid. There is a level of which somebody's actually able to process information and be able to visually see information in their mind. So for example, there's actually people in the chat right now that don't hear that inner voice. They don't hear like a voice when they read. I do. Or there's people that can't have a conversation with themselves. They're not capable of it. It doesn't exist, which is a hard thing for some of us to imagine, like myself, because it's like I've lived my entire life hearing an inner voice, just my voice. Or for example, like some people, there's different levels of imagining what an apple looks like. So some people actually cannot right now picture an apple in their mind in the chat. And it's nothing against them. And so when he's talking about this, some of these people might not be able to actually fathom that gap because they can't visualize it. They'd have to actually see it on like paper before they can even get to some sort of conclusion.
Answer to you. I mean,
it's a fascinating thing.
I wish he did, and I wish you were in charge. He answers to the energy base in your party, and right now the energy is behind these left-wing progressive kinds of candidates. This is who they want.
We're talking about this at the end.
It's crazy where we've gotten to with that party. I mean, they've gone so far left to the point where now they're back to almost their base roots of wanting this. And it kind of makes sense why they would support a Nazi. Nazi's just socialism, by the way, folks. Not just, right? There's a lot of evil things from that party. But it does make a little bit of sense because they're pushing socialism. And it kind of makes sense that Bernie Sanders would want it. I mean, there's a lot of sense being made there. By the way, a lot of sense being made is Pat over here, a moderator, contributing 5 gifted subs. Shout out to you, Pat. Again, Pat is fully funding the show, basically. Rob got a membership. Cece got a membership. Cece's been around for a while, so has Rob. Dudley, good to see you. Got a membership. And Emmy Joe, wow, got a membership. And his servant, who's been around for a while as well. A lot of names, and some names I don't recognize fully, but I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you got a membership to the Bald Brad Show. Shout out to Pat for doing that. And everybody at Rumble, give Pat a little bit of a shout out for getting that membership to 5 people. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate you, man. Well, with that being said, I mean, there's a lot more to cover, but I guess we'll have to save it for tomorrow. If you're going shopping, folks, check your 6 because you just might get your tushy beaten up and your food taken. So, or just have it, I guess, delivered, but that's more money. And by the way, I'm serious, you guys. I want to make sure that you're safe and sound. And by the way, gentlemen, go out shopping for your wife by yourself. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm shopping by myself for a while. I'm not kidding. I'll look in the mic. I'm not kidding. I'm going by myself. And if somebody wants to, like a hockey player, man, I ain't a small guy. If you want to go toe to toe, here we go. I've been toe to toe. I've had my ass kicked many of times in hockey. My nose is crooked because of it. These teeth, not real, some of them. And I got my ass kicked. You can tell my face is looking a little weird. If you notice, I got 2 different faces. Okay, there's a reason for it. So I got no problems getting my ass kicked. But I'll tell you what, I could put up a pretty good fight, a pretty good damn fight. Come at me! No, I'm just kidding. Don't come at me, please. Leave me alone. Well, with that being said, all jokes aside, thank you so much, folks, for joining me here on the Bald Brad Show. If you enjoyed what you saw here, hit that like and subscribe button. We do this each and every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can catch us on TikTok. You can catch us on Rumble, on X, on YouTube. I'm trying to think of all the we're basically everywhere. You can find us almost everywhere. With that being said, appreciate you. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. Read your scriptures. Read your Bible. And I'll see you later here on the Bald Brad Show. Take care, Patriots.